Hey guys, welcome back to Factorio. This is EddieMan, the quest for 20 million electronic circuits. Episode number 10. Well, this episode is a special episode. It's the first interlude for GreenChips. So the proper name would be GreenChip Interlude 1. I decided to make this episode a time-lapse episode. As you can see here that I am resupplying at the mall. We will be building the first array during this time lapse. Now, didn't get a chance to get it properly online, meaning the ores flowing through. Did get the ores to the beginning part of the array, as you see going into the episode. But the beginning you saw, I went ahead and took a bunch of landfill, and as mining productivity 1 and 2 is completed here, we took a bunch of landfill and we rounded the coastline for the ore patches so we can easily mine them. And we also created stone walls build in the mall there, as you can saw that I resupplied some of that. Okay. We also, as I just mentioned, we got mining productivity 1 and 2 completed to help out with the mining down here for the smelting columns. So here we go. The first stage is to increase coal mining for general smelting column, and the coal is going to be siphoned off to the array as well. So we want to increase a lot of this coal mining, and I don't like the fact that it's all mixed down here, so we're gonna have to just go around the mixed areas right now, and we'll just deal with that in a later time. So we're just gonna go ahead and power everything up here, and also put some lights down as well so we can see. Okay. That should help out with coal production for the time being. So we're just gonna head north up here towards the array and get a line of coal going. We're just gonna have to move this gun here to the left. All right. Bullet shooting speed is the next course of action for research. So we're just going to go ahead and knock that out, as we will be gearing up our military over the next couple of episodes. Right, so I want to go ahead and hook up the first stage, which is coal, to at least the beginning of the array here. So we get some coal flowing through, at least to the beginning stages of it. Okay. Alright, and the next stage is going to be hooking up the copper, I believe. And I'm just going to have to find a way to get iron in here as well. So I'm going to just redirect this coal a little bit so we make some room here for the copper. Because the copper flow has to go directly north here from where I'm standing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start mining some copper down here as well. Bullet shooting speed 2 is complete. Okay. It took me a while to realize that that bullet shooting speed was finished. As we go ahead and place some power poles here for power. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and hook this up. I'm not sure why I hooked it up with the small power poles. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. So yeah, there's going to be 2 lines of copper flowing into the array here. Right now, well, the array calls for a belt and a half actually, but we'll turn a full belt into a half a belt, and that should be enough as long as the belts are full. And that bullet shooting speed, I still have not realized that was done. All this research time could have been. It's okay. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make a gateway here type thing for the iron to flow in. I want 2 lanes of iron coming from the south, as we just do a little landfill there, so we can route in some lanes of iron on the belts. Alright, so we are making our layout here for the miners on this big lovely patch of ours. So I want 2 lanes of red belt iron ore. Now again, I'm not 100% sure of what the ratios are for the array, but I want to start off with at least 2 lanes of copper ore red belt, and again 2 lanes of red belt iron ore, and a lane of obviously of coal. That should be a good start. If we need to tweak those later on, we will. But again, there's no rush, right? Really no rush to how long it takes us to get to the 20 million, as long as we just complete it, right? Okay, so here I am, this bottom lane here that I just made, I'm going to connect it to just regular smelting, and the top one is going to be its own red belt lane, and then the middle 2 is going to form the second red belt lane for the GreenChip array to the north. Eventually we will go ahead and set up trains for all this, but right now we have this huge ore patch here, so why not go ahead and utilize all of it for the construction of the green chips. Well, not most of it. We have regular smelting for production bus that we have to worry about as well too. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and right now just double up on the iron ore for now, and then we're gonna head back up north to start building the array. Now the array will be much easier once we have bots. Right now obviously we don't have bots, so we have to build the first one by hand, and this allows me to work out all the tweaks of it. I should have held back a little bit and waited to post the blueprint, but I wanted to get it out to you guys. There is some flaws to it, so I will go ahead and update the Google Drive doc for the blueprint, and I will fix the link in the previous episode, and the next episode I will also repost that link for you guys. I have it here in my notes. I will definitely make sure that I get that fixed before episode 11 is aired. Okay, so here's going to be the sprout of the second red belt for copper. Okay, I have a dumping ground right now for the ores. Now this little split off here that I decided to do isn't going to work, so we're going to go ahead and fix that right here. And I'm going to redirect this line here to go back south a little bit as a loop back, and then this goes straight, and then I'll make the 2 lanes of red belt for copper. Now this should be more than enough right now. Again, I'm not gonna be sure exactly until we get the array up and running. I will showcase that at the beginning of the next episode, as I don't have that recorded yet, so I'm able to I guess fill in the gaps. We're back here in the wall resupplying. I decided that I'm going to add a little bit of power once I get the array up and running. I know it's going to suck all the power demand. We might need more than this, but this is a good start right now. In fact, I know for sure I'm going to need more than this. In fact, I might have to complete this whole power array here to sustain power. Eventually, we're going to move on to solar panel and accumulators. Anyway, we go ahead and add some coal power to the coal for power supply. And we head back up to the array here. I went ahead off camera and started building the array. I wanted to see or gauge how long it would take to build sections of it. So I like the flow of building it by hand here. It's like a little circle I make. I know I keep going back and forth to the different areas, but it is what it is, right? Right, so I had to make a little cut there. I actually went ahead and went on vacation, so ran out of time editing and recording this episode. So I do apologize that it is late, but better late than never, right? Alright, so we'll go ahead and construct more of the array here. The storage for their green chips. We do have a storage for copper wire, copper cables in the midst here. So be careful of that if you guys place the blueprint down. There is a bunch of yellow inserters next to each other that go in different directions. So remember to be pressing Q when you're selecting your inserters to make sure they're going in the right way when you place them down. That's very important. Okay. I was just looking at the map really quick to see how big the array was getting, which is pretty big. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and continue with the build here, placing all these storage chests. But right now this is going to be our main storage for our green chips. Eventually, when we get those bots up and running, we'll go ahead and make a better centralized storage area and split it up into millions so we have a better understanding of how far we are into the 20 million process of making the 20 million chips. I know I'm at like almost 6 million already to date. I'm gonna emphasize again that I am not gonna just get to 20 million and stop. I'm gonna make sure I have stored 20 million green chips stored in this map. I'm also gonna do the red chips and the blue chip storage as well. I believe I already have those achievements, so I'm really close to it. Once we get red and green chips online on this, red and blue chips, I'm sorry, online on this map, those achievements will be unlocked very soon or very quickly. So we'll go ahead and construct the metal lines here. We have we have a full line of copper and a line of half coal, half copper to supply the steel furnaces of both ore and coal for power, or power or coal to smelt, that is. Alright, I did miss a little section there of power poles, so I will have to off camera go ahead and fix that. But again, I can't emphasize it enough. Make sure you're pressing Q for every single inserter, because these inserters all go different directions and they're wacky. We'll go back down here for one last resupply here. I'll go ahead and repost that achievement because I forgot to turn it back on after I exited the game and came back into it. One thing I also want to emphasize, the underground belts for both the middle and the two sides. You guys have to make sure that they are facing the right way, because I think I have one that's facing the wrong way. And when I started recording the next episode, I noticed that I was trying to figure out why it wasn't flowing all the way north, and it was just that one underground belt that ruins it for the rest of the line. And again, I went ahead and fixed that the blueprint, so I got to get that posted up onto Google Drive and repost that link. As we come down to the end of the episode here, we are just going to go ahead and wrap up the build here for the array. The power poles, the lights, the inserters, of course the level 2 assembly machines. Thank you, autosave. Even with the time lapse, you can see that it's the autosave still pops up. As you saw there, I made sure that the right side here, the underground belts were all facing the right way, flowing from south to north. And you guys don't realize it, but I am unequipping the inserter and pressing Q on a direction that I know I need to go to make sure I have the inserter going the right way. It's hard to tell that I'm doing that on the time lapse here, but saving me a lot of time to have to go back and tweak inserters here and there. Okay. Just making sure that I haven't missed anything. Okay, go back to the middle here, get this last line going here. Now the underground belts, this blueprint, this array that I found had underground belts. I believe the underground belts helped with UPS back in the day. We could just use regular belts to this, but I like the aesthetic and the look of the array with all the underground belts. It adds a little quirkiness, I guess you could say, to the array. But it's at your leisure what you want to do. I know the underground belts are expensive, so again, it's up to you. It's your call. So when I getting up here to the end of the array, I started getting worried about the biters coming and attacking at any given moment here. We will go ahead and over the next couple of episodes address that issue. We will gear ourselves up military wise. I had to actually get the military science array up and running and get those military upgrades going science wise. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming up in the next episode. Okay, I just want to make sure that this side is all good with the underground belts. And yeah, I'm just walking past that point there where I missed one power pole. Those yellow flashers. I'll go ahead and address that in the next episode. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode of Factorio. I've gone ahead and going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here, as I'm pointing out that I need to get the military array up and running, and I need to expand our production of green circuits for production bus. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode of Factorio, and if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to stay up with everything EddieMan, and also if you like this video, go ahead and throw me a like as well. That greatly helps the channel out as well. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode of Factorio. And like always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.